So I want to take my life back probably like 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was not the most positive person that I would actually compare myself to currently. And I want to share with you how I was able to actually transform myself and actually be able to change the way that I simply think and become positive and enthusiastic and full of vibing energy, right? Because you always need that. It's freaking morning, you find that people, don't vibrate well to this energy because when they look at me, they look at themselves and be like, why can't I be that guy? And they want to actually dampen, that. So they might say, crappy things to me or whatever the case is. But anyway, I just wanted to be able to share with you guys how I transformed myself to think positive, right? And how I broke it down, right, was simply this way. So, first of all, before I understood how the universe and energy works, right, I never understood the concept of where energy flows, that's where your attention goes, right? Right, and essentially for me, how it started off by being aware, and that was the most challenging thing because I wasn't really acquainted to meditation during that space and time. But it was really a challenge, and I had to be aware of the fact that, for instance sake, the words that I'll be using, right? For instance sake, if I wake up in the morning, and I share this with a lot of people, that if you wake up in the morning and I ask you, John, how do you feel? And you say, well, Ash, look, I'm not too bad, The first thing that your mind does is listen to that word bad. It's not listening to not, it's not listening to all the other words, it's listening to the word bad. And your mind is constantly ringing that word bad, 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 and it's sending out the emotions and the energy towards your whole entire body. And what that would eventually do, right? If you're not aware, if you're not going to change that during your day, what that's going to actually do to you, your day is going to be bad, right? Everything that happens in your day is going to be bad. You're not going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling bad because you said, I'm not too bad, right? However, so I picked that out, right? And I was like, okay, so it's within the words that I'm able to use that I can be able to transform the way that I become positive. And I picked that out, right? And, the transformation, it took, a couple of years. And, and soon later, because I was practicing it every single day, I would use the word good, I would use the word great, I would use the word, better. And I'm still using those words till this day, because I never want to be able to speak bad about myself. I never want to use language that is associated with bad things, right? And when you do that, your mind will eventually learn to construct itself just by simply thinking about good things, right? And, being positive, it's a daily practice. I'll not lie to you, it's a daily practice. And how I'm learning it is the fact that, you've got 7 days, right? 7 days in a week, right? We're only gonna work within a week. You've got 7 days in a week. Out of those 7 days, you need to be able to decide how many days of the week you'd want to feel good. And for me, it was a simple decision. 7 days, it's a no-brainer. I want to feel good 7 days out of the week, right? But life also is an experience, right? It's the learning is the joy. And I've soon come to understand that we are going to be, tested. We are going to be challenged, during the days of the week. However, we need to be able to grab into our toolbox and use the techniques and the tools that allow us to be positive and happy and joyful and, feeling good 7 days out of, the week. I mean, if you're a person that feels good once in 7 days, shit, you need to go to work, but if you learn and practice and, during the years, you're someone that now feels good 5 days and 7 days. Man, from 1 day to 5 days in a week, that's a huge achievement. That is a huge achievement. And, and simply one thing that I just want you that I want to share with you is one single step. Change the way that you use language. Change the way that you use your language, right? I once heard someone shared this with me, and I was like, It took me a while to actually figure it out. But they essentially said to me, Ash, language is our past, right? And the reason why that took me, to a place where I had to actually think about it is the fact that language is our past, right? In order to change our past, we need to change our language, right? Reason behind that: if yesterday you were heartbroken, you got dumped, whatever, you lost $1 million rands or $1 million or whatever it is, whatever the case may be, right? When you wake up the following morning, you still have that thought. You still have the language of whatever it is that actually happened the previous day or the previous week, right? In order for you to change that, you need to be able to change your language, right? Instead of saying, I lost yesterday, okay, cool. I acknowledge that I lost yesterday, but today is a different day, so today I will win. So our language is associated with our past, and in order for us to change our past, we need to be able to change our language. And that is so powerful. That is so powerful because words are things, man. Words are things. The words that we utter with our mouth, they become things. They become our reality. So once I understood that, for me, it was a matter of putting that and still putting that into practice of saying, okay, cool, I understand that words are things. So how can I be able to change my words so that the things that I want actually come back to me, right? It's sort of a mind trick that you can just be able to start yourself with in terms of being able to build up your momentum, become this positive person, and essentially get to 7 days a week. And I'll not lie to you guys and say that, I've mastered it. I've mastered 7 days out of, 7 that I'm always positive. But from a person that was 2 in 7 days, I've become 5 in 7 days, if not 6. And, the goal is not to be perfect, but to constantly practice, constantly grab the tools that I know that help me. And that's one of the tools that I would like to share with you guys. I hope you implement it. I hope you practice this thing. And, that the most important thing is that practice, man, because that practice will essentially change your whole life.